Let's go to Mike Max right now. He's been quiet for a while. Maxie, what's going on? You're still there at Bobby and Steve's.
Yeah, and you can see behind me the last of the people that are being that have been arrested are now awaiting their transportation to the Hennepin County Jail. And I got to tell you, I'm not making light of this situation or this week at all, but it has been one incredible study of sociology, psychology, and human behavior, especially the way that it ended here tonight. A peaceful protest gets tense. Eventually they close in, there's tear gas and everything else. They arrest people. They were arrested how many hours ago now? 3 hours ago? Mm-hmm. And as they stood in line with handcuffs on, they begin in a strange way to bond with each other and even with the arresting officers. There's conversations, there's pictures being taken. The most incredible piece of humanity in a strange way that I've seen. And I think we've got some video as they stand in line. If we could roll it, they're socializing. They've gotten so far past the passion and the intensity of the event today that they are now talking pragmatically about why they do, what they believe in, and the officers are engaging them in conversation. And it was incredible to see, and in a strange way uplifting. We had a chance to talk to and ask a couple of the people that had been arrested if it was all worth it and what their take was on this day. At the end of the day, was it worth it?
Absolutely. We have a message to send. Hey, we are out here. We're peaceful. We are different from whoever's rioting. We are different from people breaking down buildings. We're out here. We just wanted to convey a message that we're not all the same. That we're not among. They are them. We are us.
When was the point where you said you've accepted the fact that she'll be arrested?
I didn't accept the fact that there should be arrests. I just know this is something that we have to do. And if anyone, we were out protesting on the freeway. We are out here protesting on the freeway because we want to make a difference. And to people saying, hey, you can't protest on the freeway, you gotta go on the sidewalk. We don't have enough sidewalks in the city of Minnesota for tens of thousands of protesters. Okay, we're going to protest on the street. We want to be heard. We're going to go where we're going to get attention. Okay. That's how it is.
And at the end of the day, do you feel that the message was put out there the right way, and are you satisfied with what you guys accomplished?
I am. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied that we showed that we're not going to be beaten. We're not going to be beaten by any officers. We're not going to be beaten by law enforcement or our friends in the state patrol.
I got to ask you one question about that. As this thing has evolved, we've all been standing here for a long time now, and I'm seeing more smiles and laughter than I think I've ever seen of people that are being arrested. There's almost a bond that's been established with the arresting officers and the people that have been arrested.
Exactly. At the end of the day, we're human. He's got a family. He's got friends. I've got a family. I've got friends. At the end of the day, we just want to go home to the people we love. I mean, we're human. We're citizens first. At the end of the day, he might be wearing a uniform. I'm not, but we can connect in any way. You know what I'm saying?
You've been here every
5 days. Yeah.
What have you learned?
I've learned that every person deserves love from other people. That's what I really have learned, and it's really opened my eyes. Like, I don't have no hate towards these police officers around me. I really don't. I just want everybody to come together and treat each other equally. Seriously.
Do you regret being arrested?
No, I don't. Like, I probably will, but right now, no.
And do you feel like you guys sent a message loud and clear? Were you effective in it or not?
I think our message was clear at first, and then it ended up being clouded. But at the end, our message is still the same. Black Lives Matter.
There you go. And it was strange and surreal as this week has evolved and what we saw today, and now we're seeing the ending of it. But I wanted to bring some of that to you, both those people from Minnesota, one from Andover and one from Northeast Minneapolis, because the perspective of that you have on the protesters when you only see them and don't hear from them is sometimes can be misconstrued and misconfigured. And to add to that, I have watched for 3 straight days on the front lines as these law enforcement groups both the county sheriffs, the police department, and the state patrol have gathered. And they have been so clinical and so precise in what their mission was and how they controlled and contained these crowds that it has been nothing short of astonishing to see the discipline that they used to get people in order without altercation, without fanfare, and without it manifesting into something much worse at times when we thought it could go in that direction. They have a game plan, and whoever orchestrated it, I don't know. But it was just outstanding. One final note, Frank and Amelia, in talking to them, how is this situated? And they said they put us into different groups, law enforcement groups, so you're playing, in essence, with the same team. And then we stay in the same places and we're on call so that when we need to react, we're with the same group and we know exactly where it is that we're going. We're all learning about organization and mission this week, and they have been right on point the last 3 nights since the precinct burned. They have been right on point throughout, and nothing short sometimes of miraculous in their discipline and being able to quell what could be very difficult and tense situations.
Yeah, you know what? It is so unfortunate when you hear those two, after you spoke to those two, it's unfortunate that you have these bad apples or eggs, as my grandmother would say, that went and, set fires and did all this looting, because you have these people who are, like you said, it's very uplifting to see them. They're peaceful, they have a message, and they're going along with it. And did you see him smiling when he turned to the state trooper?
I love the state trooper smirk.
Friend,
yeah, I mean, that they've been talking for a while. Maybe, Max, we need to figure out how to have this conversation around a beer instead of around a set of handcuffs, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is so human, and it is so, as they stood together, law enforcement officials, and you can see over here, everybody's had a long day, and this is the way it feels at the end of the long day as the state patrol here at Bobby and Steve's sits down and has a bottle of water, and as soon as I'm sure the vans are full, they'll return to their quarters, and they're still on high alert throughout. But as I observed, again, the arresting officers and the people that they had arrested, visiting, having articulate, thoughtful conversations, the law enforcement officials recognizing that their perspective and their points, listening to it. It was a back and forth. You thought, there's something here. We might be a long way from there and whatever it is that we want to accomplish, but we're certainly not that much different when the people in the uniforms and the people in the handcuffs can smile at each other and embrace in meaningful conversation.
Well, thank you for bringing that to us, because Maxie, I think we all needed to see that.
Yeah. Any sign of hope after 6 long days is great. So, and we love their conviction too.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Maxie.